Welcome back to another exciting episode of Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. In the last episode, we managed to get the final gem and defeat the third dungeon. Now it's time for us to achieve our ultimate goal of this quest, the Master Sword. Now all we have to do is get off this bloody mountain. Which is not that hard, it's just all the way over here. And we just go in here and we'll travel to an unforgotten cave. Whoops. Ow. Did not mean to touch those guys. Or get hit by this guy. In just 2 transactions, we are now back at the bottom, which is kind of funny because it took us, I think maybe, well actually I think it took us two transactions to get up the mountain, so just have to count the fact that we were encountered by an old man. Now we don't have to encounter by anybody, and all we have to do is just wander into the next area, the Forgotten Forest, or the Lost Woods, as anyone started clarifying as to what it really is. A sword! Is this it? No, it's not. I kind of wonder why they have so many swords planted in the Forgotten Woods, or the Lost Woods, to be more clarified. There are about like maybe 3 other fake swords in the game, and in the forest alone, and there's really no reason for them. We got a mushroom. Smells like sweet rotten fruit. We have to take this to somebody and give it to somebody, and we'll get a special item. But we'll do that right now. Can you take me while I'm under the wood? There's another one of those fake swords. But if we go in here, we'll head towards what we need to look for. Ah, the birds and the squirrels, they're passing by. Can't really read what that says, but if we use the book, it will say, the heroes triumph on cataclysmic eyes, I guess. Eaves. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't read. Win 3 symbols of virtue, the Master Sword will then retrieve. Keep the knight's line true. Well, Link isn't really a knight, but let's see what happens. Suddenly, Shirayla, I can't really say his name, contacts you telepathically. Link, it is extraordinary that you won the Master Sword that makes evil retreat. With this shiny sword, I believe you can deflect the wizard's evil powers. The destiny of this land is in your hands. Please, Link. And now we have the Master Sword. The second sword of the game. Well, pretty much is the second and most powerful sword in the game, but right now, Link, help, the soldiers are coming, the sanctuary, oh crap, we gotta get to the sanctuary. Legend of Zelda, the Master Sword, I like to consider is the ultimate, is the sword, because like later on in the game you will change the sword's looks, but it still is the Master Sword. It's the same sword, just tempered, I think they called it. Down here there's a heart piece, and I just wanted to pick that up before leaving. Now, in Legends of Zelda, I would say that the Master Sword was first introduced in Link to the Past. However, people will probably would say otherwise, and that it was initially used in the first Legend of Zelda on the NES, which is kind of true, but also kind of not, because the second sword was found in a cave, and the white sword was an entirely different use found in a graveyard. So they were none of them were known as the Master Sword. So the Master Sword initially really did come into play in Link to the Past. Oh my god! Link, You are a second too late. I failed. Zelda. The soldiers have abducted her. They have taken her to the castle. You must find her before the wizard works his magic. Please, you are our only hope. Well, he is dead. No, I lost my train of thought. Yes, the Master Sword was pretty much introduced as the weapon's name and true intent, and being the powerful sword in Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past. And in Legend of Zelda, it was never you were using one entirely different sword and then a second entirely different sword. So neither of them were known as the Master Sword. So anyway. Now that we have the Master Sword, we can now re-enter the castle. And as you pretty much have noticed, I have not talked about the sword. It is now stronger than your, wow, that was actually pretty close, than your second sword. And it can kill green enemies in one smack, and kill purple enemies in 2, and now red enemies in 3. But the magic that swings out of the sword itself is still weak than all the others. Then it's still the same attack as the original sword. So pretty much using it is kind of, you know, but it is a good way of using it as a projectile and keeping everything away from you. So it's pretty much, you know, can be used in many ways. And now we have entered, and now as I kind of like lost my train of thought and kind of wandered off towards some other discussion, we are now in the castle. Deeper and deeper we head towards into the tower of this castle, where we try to find the evil wizard. And most of this area is kind of dark, which kind of really annoys me. Ah, fairy! We still got it. And as the area progresses, it becomes more labyrinth, more maze-like, and you know, kind of you can easily get lost and all that other stuff. But anyway, I digress. As we wander around here, we're supposed to be looking for a key because the door is locked, and here's the key, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. Now we got to go back to where I was going to unlock the door and then head for the next area. The one thing, like I said before, this area is usually always dark, and I feel pretty bothered by it because, you know, it's a castle. Shouldn't there be light in this castle? Apparently somebody forgot to pay the light bill, or the oil dealer, I don't know. Now the labyrinth becomes no walls and more hole-like. Yep, there's the key. Ow! Ow! Now I lost the ability to use the magic. Ow! Okay. Now I'm not doing so well. As you may have noticed, I can only use magic, the magic of the sword, the power of the sword with full health. Very similar to Legend of Zelda. But since I have lost all my heart, like 2 hearts, I have no longer the ability to use that power. So, in order for me to actually gain that power back, I just need to kill and gain more hearts. Ow. And I'll have the ability to use the power again. Crud. Okay. Crud! There we go. We don't really need to deal with these enemies, so let's just go ahead and head on. We are getting close to the very end. I think this is probably the last floor. Yes, it is. I was right. Bye-bye! Ah! I did it to myself!